So in Galatians chapter 1, we see that the Apostle Paul is addressing his letter to the churches up in Galatia, and he begins his letter by expressing his deep concern and frustrations on moral issues happening in the church in Galatia. He begins his letter by asserting his apostleship and emphasizing that his authority and message come directly from Jesus Christ and God the Father. And he greets the Galatians and immediately launches to his purpose of writing this letter. And now the primary reason for writing to the Galatian churches is that Paul is distressed over their departure from the true gospel that he had preached to them on his missionary journey to Galatia. Paul is troubled that some among the Galatian people are turning to a different gospel, which is not truly a gospel at all, or truly the gospel that he preached. And the main emphasis of the issue is the influence of certain individuals who are advocating for circumcision and adherence to Jewish laws that they are necessary for salvation, and these Jews who are saying that you need to be circumcised in order to receive salvation, which is something that Paul argued strongly against. And he vehemently opposes this deviation by asserting that salvation comes through faith in Christ alone. And Paul continues arguing that adding works of the law, like circumcision, is a distortion of the gospel. And Paul supports his case by recounting his own conversion experience and by emphasizing that he did not receive his gospel from any human source, but directly from a revelation of Jesus Christ as he was going on his way to Damascus. Paul also highlights his early Christian life, during which he persecuted the church and put many Christians in jail. But after his conversion, Paul didn't immediately consult with the other apostles. Instead, he spent time in Arabia and Damascus. And it wasn't until later when Paul actually went up to Jerusalem to meet with Peter and James, who were leaders in the Jerusalem church. And this independence from human influence underscores the divine origin of Paul's gospel message. And he stresses the unity of the gospel preached by himself and the other apostles in Jerusalem. However, the main point of his argument is ultimately that salvation comes by faith in Christ alone and not by observing the law of Moses. And to summarize, the first chapter of Galatians reveals Paul's deep concern over the Galatians' departure from the true faith, and it emphasizes the importance of faith in Christ for salvation, and it opposes the imposition of Jewish laws, and particularly circumcision, as requirements for being part of God's covenant.